Hey everybody, happy Friday. Hope y'all are doing good. I had to move my time because when I was done working, I normally try to go for a walk. And today I was actually done slightly earlier than I normally am. So I was like, okay, cool. So I can totally go walking. But my partner was working in the yard and he wasn't done. And I was like, and we usually walk together. So I just decided to wait for him, and I thought to myself, I think it's time to move the time now, because now that it's getting later in the year and the time changed as well, so we have more light later, and we actually like to walk later in the evening when there's less people on the trail, just because I don't really want to run into a lot of people when I'm walking on the trail. I just want to kind of be like just us or in my own mind. So I just told Reagan, who's my social media manager. So she's the one that manages social media. So starting next week, guys, everybody, we are doing a time change, and she's going to post all that. But basically, because I base everything around Houston time. So next week, instead of the lives being at 7 p.m. Houston time or Central time, it's going to be moving to 6 p.m. Houston time or Central time. And then there's going to be a gap of like an hour and 15 minutes. And then there's going to be the study group after that. So there'll be actually be like an hour and 15-minute gap between the live and the study group. That way, whoever wants to participate in the live, that's what that is about. And then there's a dedicated study group time about an hour after that. But that way I can get my walk in between the two when it's later in the afternoon. So that way we can, still enjoy our walks and stuff. But that's what the time is. But Reagan's going to post that on the pages. So that way y'all know that that's happening. In case y'all forget, because I'm pretty sure a bunch of y'all who don't know that or who are so used to 7 o'clock are going to be showing like, where's Ferny? Why isn't he here at 7 o'clock? Because I was like an hour before. That's why. So hey everybody, happy Friday. I hope y'all are looking forward to the weekend. So where do we start? Be specific. So if you're going to ask me a question about your life, be specific. What exactly are you asking me? Don't assume that I'm a mind reader, because I'm not. I can sense thoughts. I can sense emotion and all that other stuff. But emotion, like at the end of my workday, I don't have the patience to figure out what you're asking. I would just rather you be specific and get to the point, because that way it doesn't waste time, and that way I can get to it faster, and I can get to more people faster as well. So be specific. So if you're asking about your life, be specific with your question. If you are asking about a loved one in spirit, let me know who you want me to connect with, and I'll try to connect with them and bring through messages of love and healing. Something that I've been noticing recently, because this month I've done a lot of extra mediumship sessions. And normally when I work, because I'm doing this and then I have a full day worth of clients, I try to limit my mediumship sessions to like one in a day, because if I have a lot of like psychic appointments, that's a lot of mind power. But then when I do mediumship, it drains me faster. But in the last few weeks, because I did a bunch of extra mediumships to catch up to a change, because I decided to take a week or two off for my birthday. So I had everybody who was then moved up. And so we filled them in, I think, in this month. Because of that, I have been doing like 3 mediumship appointments a day, which is a lot, but I haven't really noticed a drain as much as I used to be drained after mediumship sessions. So what I'm going to start doing, I might actually increase how many mediumship appointments I offer in a day, because right now the mediumship appointments are booking out quite a bit, and so I kind of want to move people up a bit as well. And I'm pretty sure those are going to get booked up, and then I'm going to get back into October. But I'm going to see if I can do that, because that way I can get more mediumship in. But that's it. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you guys appreciate these lives. Feel free to send the video to your friends, followers, or just people that you think might appreciate an opportunity to ask me a question or ask me to connect. If you want to connect via video with a mediumship, or if you want to just do a video thing, you have to get over to Instagram, because that's where I'm doing the videos from. So any of the video like interaction that I do with people, that's on Instagram. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, won't be able to do it through there, but I can do it through Instagram until they make some changes in the system. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, you might get hit by a troll, someone who messages you either now or in the rest of the week to private message them or whatever. I wouldn't even respond. It's a waste of your time, and it's just a waste of your energy. And every time I find out, or Reagan finds out, we try to ban them and report them. But sometimes it isn't right away. So just FYIs. But if you guys get hit while we're in live, then report them as spam. Actually, we would just report them as harassment because they're basically harassing everybody, and then block their asses. And so that way we can just, do that as well. What else? If you get tired of waiting for me to answer your question, because some people sometimes like to comment that they've been doing this for a while now and they haven't had their question answered. And instead of looking at their question or what they're asking, they might need to change that because that may be the reason why. But if for some of you who would like to have that one-on-one with me, just go to my website, fernandomoron.com. Everything you need to know about what I offer and what's available and what I give away for free, which I give away a lot for free, y'all. Go to my site because there's a lot more there. I've got the podcast, it's free. I've got my YouTube channel with my free psychic development course. It's free. I've got my articles, all the articles that I write, sharing all that I understand about stuff. It's free. All those things are free stuff, guys. So y'all can go over there and check that out. If not, just keep coming back here for the lives if you want to keep doing it that way. It's up to you. I think that's it. Another thing that I'm also going to start offering, I don't know when, and I'll let y'all know when, is family mediumship sessions, because I'm getting a lot of requests from people who want to set up events in their home, and because I'm all the way in New Mexico, I'm not going to Houston. But people can basically set it up. So essentially you would book it as a group of 6 or 7 or 8 people, and it would all be through video. And I would do it not just as 45 minutes, because a regular mediumship session is 45 minutes. I would basically be doing an hour and a half of readings for people. And so it would be an event, but it would be for groups of people who want to do it from their home or want to get together. And I know some people, they'll just they'll put me on the TV, and then they'll have the laptop right there in front of the TV so I can kind of connect with y'all in that way. But that's also going to be an option that I'm going to offer as well. Don't know when exactly, but I'll let y'all know when. Okay. All right. So let's get started because I don't want to waste too much time, and it's already 12 minutes in. So I'm not going in any particular order, y'all. So be patient as well. Anybody who's rude or who is nasty, you're going to get your ass banned. So I wouldn't even try it, just because I don't have any tolerance for ridiculousness. Okay. So hey, hello. Hi Sandy. Hi Mickey. Hi Kay. All right. Kaylin. Does my husband's spirit guides have any messages for him? Yeah. One thing that I think they want him to know is that if he is expecting either friends or associates or people from a career standpoint or work standpoint, if he's expecting others to kind of come through for him or to essentially make opportunities for him, he might be waiting too long, or he might be wasting his time. And I would say, don't wait for people. Just if you want to do something on your own, then really look into it and start working towards that. Now, what I think might actually come up, because the way they're making me feel is that towards the latter half of next year, I'm not thinking it's this year, but I'm thinking it's next year, towards the second half of next year, he may start looking into either a side business or something that would be a money generator on the side from his main work or job situation. I feel like on the side, he might be looking for something, and then he might actually start looking into what to do. And at that point, I think people may actually start popping up or showing up in his life that might make it easier, or that may be a good fit for him. So even though he may have an idea of, I would like to do this, but I want someone to give me the opportunity, or I want somebody to open this up for me, there may be something that comes along next year because he just decides to start moving in that direction. People may start showing up to help him with that. Okay. But he needs to put the energy into it first. To wait around or to expect someone to come through, I wouldn't really want to do that. Barbara Baxter, I'm concerned about my grandson. Is he going to be okay? I think that he will be okay. I feel that the next 2.5 months are going to be really challenging for him. And then I think there's a period of calm, or there's something settles after a 2.5 month period. And then later this year, towards the end of the year, there might be another period of challenge that it may affect him. But I do think that the next 2.5 months, there's going to be a bit of a challenging period for him. And y'all may have to try to just help him cope, or try to do as much as you can to kind of help him through that period as well. Okay. Raina on YouTube is the company that I auditioned for, the one I will be accepted into. I don't know if you're going to be accepted as like a full-time employee or like a full-time thing. I am seeing a contractual agreement, but I would say it feels more like contractual, like part-time or like project related. So it's less full-time or full-term, and it feels more like project related. So it might be like, oh, well, you know, we've got something, and would you be interested in like a 2 or 3 month project or something like that? So I feel like you might get something like that that comes up. Probably through the company or through the people that connected you to this opportunity, because I feel like there's something there that you might need to latch onto. I do think also that in August, you might actually get some really good news, but it may require you to have to either live somewhere else temporarily, or potentially end up having a second place to call home, because I can see you actually having to travel somewhere else for a period of time just to do what's required of that, or the project there. But that seems more significant than like what you're talking about. But I don't feel bad about the one you're talking or you're asking me about, but it might be shorter time than you expect, or it may not be as thorough of an opportunity as you would prefer. But I still feel like there's potential there. So I would say I do think you'll get something through that option, that path, that company. Lisa 8395. When do you see my Uncle Bob selling his home? Any messages from my spirit guides? December. I feel like he'll either put it up at the end of the year, or someone may actually offer to purchase it before he even lists it, which might be an interesting situation altogether. But I want to say towards the end of the year, because I'm thinking around December. Francis Field. Hey Ferny, great to see you. I'd love any messages from my parents or guides regarding me moving into mediumship training. Thank you in advance. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love the mediumship training for you. So I actually think that might be a really good thing for you. However, I think that for you, it is going to be an interesting path to training, because the program or the teacher that you might go through, there might be some things there that you don't either personally agree with, or that you may not necessarily completely grasp. But I still think that it's valid, but you may just have to work a little bit harder outside of the training. But I still feel like the training in itself might actually be very beneficial to you. I keep thinking, when I think of you, I keep thinking of this person that is a medium who paints or sketches pictures of the person that they are connecting with. And I wouldn't be surprised if the same ability is there for you as well, where you can actually draw or be able to like write in either on behalf of this person, or be able to sketch out. And actually, I think you're going to do two things. If you don't already have a sketching ability, I think you're going to learn how to sketch, because you might start to feel more of a need to write down or to draw what you're seeing, to explain it to people. And I think that may actually help you and benefit you greatly. So there may be something there to that as well. Also, I will say this also, you need to be very aware of the amount of people you spend your time with, or that you funnel energy to. The reason why I say this is because, as a practicing medium and having done this for so long, I don't have the luxury of being able to use a lot of energy towards other people when I'm not working. Because when I'm working, it literally is like sucking everything out of me to do it. So when I'm off, I like shut completely down, and I completely like go into my own little bubble. I'm like the quietest person when I'm not working. Like my partner says I don't talk. That's my problem, is I don't talk. And this is the reason why I don't talk, because everything I have I give to my work on the days that I work. So that's where everything goes. And so extra time, being social, etc. I love the idea, but I just don't have the energy for it, and I can barely sustain that. And sometimes it can even come across a little rude, where if I'm going to be around people and I just don't have the energy to really follow through with everything that those people want to do, or the plans for the day. And so people might think that it's rude if I like clock out early, but I'm just like, no, sorry guys, like I'm just really tired. And there's only so much energy I have to go around. So, and you need to be aware of that. So you might need to be prepared to start to pull back on some of the activities that you participate in with other people in a social setting, because the more you do in your training, the more sensitive you're going to become. Okay, let's go through here. Go through here. It's Shali. Hi, Ferny. Any messages for my boyfriend's mom? Both of her parents. Any what? Any message? Oh, for my boyfriend's mom. She's alive. Got it. I was like, what? Got it. So your boyfriend's mom, but her parents are passed. Got it. Perfect. Yeah, there's actually there's actually 3 people that I would associate with her. I definitely want to clock her parents with her. And if in fact, trying to split my energy between the mom and the dad, because one of them was showing me a butterfly and I was like, okay, which one is that one? It's funny because I was going to associate the butterfly with mom, but then I kept seeing dad almost like, almost to say daddy's girl, or she may have been like daddy's girl in some way. So I kind of want to put it that way, but I am seeing butterflies. So butterflies are going to be a symbol. I also keep hearing a clock or a watch. So either there's a grandfather clock or there's a watch that might be associated as well, because they're making reference to that. There is a date of significance. I want to say in the next month. So I'm not thinking this is this month, but in the month of April or early May, there might be a date of significance or an anniversary date, because they're acknowledging that time frame as being significant. They also keep thinking, her mom is letting her know that sometimes her mom could be a little bit critical or could come across a little critical, and if she ever came across in a way that made her, your mother-in-law feel judged, I guess you can say that, she's apologizing for that because she's acknowledging that, but then she's also saying that she loves her, to let her know that. She also keeps thinking, she's showing me a heart. So I wouldn't be surprised also if the mother, because I'm thinking this is the mom, so I feel like the mom's taking over. The mother, she's pointing to her heart. I don't feel like she's acknowledging it towards the father. I feel like she's either acknowledging it for herself or for your mother-in-law. So if her mother had a heart condition, or was being affected in the heart area, she might be acknowledging her situation. But if not, and if I'm wrong in misinterpreting that, I want your mother-in-law to have her heart checked, because she may need to check to see if the arteries or the flow is proper, because I kind of feel like I'm seeing that as well. She also keeps, thank you, Lily. There might be a Lilith or a Lily or a Lil sounding name connection, or a double L, because I'm seeing lilies. So either the flower's important or the name is important. The father's there. He's fine. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. There might be a picture of him in a uniform that she has. So there might be a uniform picture of him, because he's showing me a uniform. He also makes her, or she might have had a dream where he was sitting in a chair, or she has the chair, but that may be what he's referring to. Okay. And then there's another female that's there, but that would be like on a friend level. So that would be like a friend or a sister or a sister-in-law or a cousin that's to her side. And she passed from cancer, I think, because I'm seeing a cancer connection to that. Okay. By the way, guys, if any of y'all work for Zevia, the company, or if any of y'all know of people who work at Zevia, I am more than happy to do branding for Zevia. And I will drink the hell out of Zevia every single time I'm on camera, just because Zevia is freaking expensive, y'all. But not only that, but also I love Zevia and I drink like Zevia every day. So if any of y'all know anyone who works for Zevia, I'm totally down with doing branding for them. FYI. Hey Candy, Ferny, my boss is partnering with a remanufacturing company. Do you see this increasing my pay and responsibilities? Yes. Yes to both. I do think that your pay would change after 2 months of it being resolved, like the partnership or the finalization of the partnership. So after 2 months, I think that's when you might see an increase in your pay. Summer is going to be brutal. So you're going to be super, super, super busy during summertime. So just FYI, you might even need to get some help, because I feel like there's going to be so much going on there. Actually, it feels good though. It's good to have a profitable nonprofit, right? Or a profitable organization. But I think that summer's going to be really busy. So you might need to be prepared for that, Mama, because if not, you're going to be pulling your hair out. Mark on IG. Why do I get specific wrong numbers when using my abilities to see the number before the ball stops? Does my higher self guides want me to stop? When you say before the ball stops, are you talking about like the lottery? Are you talking about like the lottery or bingo? Something about this. So we all have charts, right? We all come into life with charts. They're like our life's chart. And there are things in that chart that we are supposed to experience or go through. If what we are trying to achieve with our abilities as a person who's sensitive, if we are trying to achieve something with our abilities that would fundamentally affect elements of our chart, it will never happen. So if you're trying to figure out or you're trying to sense details like numbers and there's a specific reason why, that doesn't mean that, and I will say this, and I'm just approaching this as if you're asking about like psychic, like numbers like the lottery and stuff, because I don't know if that's what you're asking because the question, the way it's worded, but there are psychics who have won the lottery, there are, but I believe that the reason why they did win is because they were charted to win. There was an intent that they were supposed to. And actually the psychics that I knew who won the lottery actually gave a majority of it to charity. So they didn't keep it. They actually just took some of it to use for themselves, and then they gave away a good chunk of it to charity. So that's the way to do it. If I ever won the lottery, I would probably build all of these charity organizations. I'd be like, okay, we're going to get rid of hunger, and I'm going to build these like food kitchens that offer free food for people who make under a certain amount of money. And I mean, I would be like focused on that if I won the lottery, and I would try to partner up with the governments, local governments, to be able to filter funds to that as well, so that way it could become a sustainable system. But to answer your question, go back to your question because I'm going off on a tangent. I can tune into numbers. Like earlier today, I had a client, one of my clients, and she's like, my husband, he played the stock market and he lost our money, or the money went down. And she didn't tell me how much. She just said money. And I said, was this like around 56,000? And she said, well, it was 60,000, but you're pretty damn close. But it doesn't matter. And there have been times where I've actually literally gotten the precise numbers with dealing with people. Then there's also been people who their loved ones passed and they never had the code to the phone. And I've been able to give them the code to the phone, which is ridiculous because I'm like, whoa. But that's not something that happens as often. I wish it happened more often because I'd be playing the lottery. But when we have things that we're supposed to go through in our lives and it's going to fundamentally interfere with the path that we're supposed to take or the experiences we're supposed to have, we're not going to be allowed to have it happen. So FYI. So I would say it's a combination of two things. Keep doing it because you might get better at, being able to decipher some of those details with numbers, because I've been able to get better at it. But at the same time, if you're trying to do something and gain from it, it might not work as well, or you may not be able to gain as well. I actually think it's easier to manifest the future for myself than it is to be able to see the lottery numbers psychically, just because it's going to go up against my life chart. So. And people say, oh, no. Like, if I won the lottery, like, I would still do this. Like, I get it. But money changes people. Like, I'm not stupid. And from experience, I know money changes people. So people say that, but then they end up not following through. So it happens. It happens. Okay, let me bring somebody on. Let's go here.
Fine. Yeah,
hello. Hey, sweetheart, how you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome.
So this time I'm gonna actually listen. I think the universe is telling me to listen more. From the last time, I'm so happy to get you again. How are you?
That's all right. Well, I mean, we all learn in practice, right? There are times where I've like been on camera, or like I'm like, oh God, I should have done this or I should have done. So don't be so hard on yourself. We learn from our experiences.
Yeah, I think because what you were trying to say, I was talking like when I rewatched the video.
You know what? That's an issue though, because whenever I meet any new clients, because before they know me, like they know I'm the talker. I'm the one that's going to talk for the most of the session. they're either going to affirm or not confirm, or they're just going to listen and then ask me in the very end. And I actually prefer it that way because I'm like, I don't need you to tell me so much. Let them tell me, or let them give me details, because people are like, oh my God, can you connect with my mother? Her name is Mary. She was born on the 17th of December. She died from like pneumonia. But anything you can tell me. I'm like, you just tell me everything. So she can't tell me anything. Yeah. But what do you want to ask me about?
Oh, so with my brother, I try to get a little bit more like information. I think Will one of my great grandfather, like my grandfather's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you were getting a will name.
I have no idea what we talked about, so everything that we talked about is completely forgotten. So you might have to remind me because I don't remember
I just
anything. Yeah.
is that okay?
Say what? Oh. Oh gosh, there we go. Let's see. Spinning, spinning, spinning. All right, I may have to come back to you because it looks like it's dead. Wait, you there?
Can you see
You
me?
there?
Okay. So I'm here.
I can see the ceiling. There you are.
Can you
Okay, there you are. I can see you now. All right.
that?
Now, what was your question?
Is my manifestation being blocked? And like, do I have any abilities that I don't know about?
So,
And am I giving
when you say manifestation, what do you mean?
like every time like I notice that when I try to go into like I feel like I'm being like blocked. Like when I'm manifesting or I'm trying to do in my laws of attraction, because I'm really trying to be more of a lighter person. Because I've just been going through a lot. Like there's a lot of tribulations. So I feel like there's something calling me with manifestation. I don't know if I have the right tools or the right thing.
Manifesting is severely misunderstood, and people think that if they just think positively or if they think about something obsessively that it's going to show up. It doesn't work that way. That's like the first step. That's like, if I buy all of the ingredients at the store, am I done with my cake? I'm like, no, because you still have to learn how to monitor the different ingredients, mixing things together, and then finding a good balance, and then popping it in the oven. So if you're just doing the buying of the ingredients at the store, ain't gonna make no cake. So what are you specifically trying to manifest?
For career wise, like I'm so creative, so I do 10 different things at one time. I can't ever stick to like one thing. I want to do
That's
nails.
your block. That's your block. That's your block. So the block is that you are spreading yourself too thin. You're scattering your energy across too many different things. So basically, this is what you do. Today, I have an idea. I'm going to do something for that. And then the next day, I'm going to do something for something else. And then the next day, I'm going to do something about, and then I'm going to come back to this. That's your block. So basically, you're trying to make 5 different flavored cakes at the same time. And that's not going to bake a cake. That's basically just like ruining the ingredients in the process of it. So here's the thing. You can only focus on 3 things a day. That's it. If you focus on more than 3 things a day, you've overclocked yourself, and you're not going to manifest anything because you're basically not putting in enough energy and passion and intent behind anything. So if you're trying to do like 5 different things, or you're going through 5 different things in a day, that's already too much. You got to base it to 3 things. So this is the 3 things. One is activities or things that make you feel loved or make you feel nurtured or supported, either by yourself or from others. That's 1. And 2, making sure that you are maintaining what is necessary to have a stable life, which means making sure your bills are paid. So show up to work. That's basic. 3, whatever your ideal goal is for what you want to achieve. If you think of yourself in the future, 5 years from now, and what you would want to see your life like, find the easiest thing that is the thing you could start working on now that you could actually achieve without waiting for a miracle to happen. Because if you take one thing out of that visual, instead of trying to do all of the things, just pick one thing that you think you can do now or work towards. Start practically working on it every single day, even on the days that nothing is happening and you feel like nothing's going on and nothing's being manifested. Doesn't matter. You still work on it. You still do it. You still do it. You still do it. Because that's going to be the energy that you're going to start to pour in. That's the battery that's going to basically help you to manifest. But if you're spreading yourself too thin and you're not following through, which your issue is following through, then you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm doing too much too fast too soon, right? Instead of focusing.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
just
like I
need to
have a
stay
lot
focused.
of.
Yeah, you need to stay focused on doing one thing and learning how to do it well and doing it consistently. And then once you feel like you've gotten the hang of that being on autopilot, then you can start to take on an additional thing. But you have to start with one thing and get good at following through and consistently doing it, or it's not going to go anywhere.
Thank you so much, Ferny. I'm
You're
just
welcome,
happy to
sweetheart.
see you.
Oh.
You're a godsend. I love you so much. You don't even know it.
Oh, I love you. I love you too, sweetheart. I love you too, and I
Thank
mean that.
you.
I love you too.
Want me to know before I go.
You need to you are on the spectrum, so you probably need to look at exercises or techniques that can help you to get more fixated or focused, because I do think that you're on the spectrum.
Yeah, I definitely know that. Like, I need to center my body. I can feel it. The universe is
Yeah.
definitely telling me at nighttime, morning time.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Ferny.
You're welcome. You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
Mama. You take care of
Thank
yourself.
you. Everybody, love Ferny. Let's get thumbs up, everybody.
Bye, sweetheart.
Bye, Ferny.
Oh, I got it. I got it, Mama. I cut you off. I cut you off. I was gonna cut you off anyway, so it's like, okay, we're not gonna drag this on. But yeah, but you're sweet. You're so sweet. Beautiful, beautiful girl. Okay, so let's go somewhere else. Let me see. Let's go here. Let's go to Amber. Let's see if I can get a hold of Amber. Amber. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So let me let go of Amber. And let me try someone else. By the way, guys, if you want to come on video with me, you can request it just at the bottom. At the bottom, there's a little thing that can, let me see, what's that? Yeah. At the bottom, you can request it there. Hello. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm so good.
Oh, I'm here, sweetheart. I'm here. So this is a safe zone. Feel free to express yourself however you need to express yourself. So what did you want to ask me?
We lost my dad 4 years ago to cancer.
Okay, don't tell me too much.
And
Don't tell me too much. So you want me to connect with Dad?
please,
All right, so let me see if I can connect with Dad. First of all, there are 3 father figures in spirit. So your dad is one of them, but you might also have like a father-in-law or another father or a stepfather. But I almost feel like there's 3 father figures because I want to put 3 in spirit for you. Your dad is, thank you. First of all, he is pointing to his chest area. So he's wanting to get my attention and focus me here. He's also making me, thank you. Do you know, I'm wondering if this is your dad or if this is one of the other father figures. I keep seeing a lung partially collapsing. Do you know your dad had like a lung collapse or there was issues with one of his lungs?
he has lung cancer.
Okay, that's why. So he's acknowledging like the issues that were going on with his lungs and making reference to that. He also keeps, thank you. He is also showing, think he just gave me a name. Is there a Sid or a Sydney or Sid sounding name connection?
Sabrina and my sister.
Okay, he wants to acknowledge the S name. So if that's your sister, he might be acknowledging her. Do you know she's gotten either engaged or married, or there's been some sort of like event since his passing? Because he's acknowledging something with this.
She had 2 twin girls.
Got it. That's not what he was referring to. There's something else.
They're trying to have another baby right now.
No, that's
And they're
not it.
struggling.
Because when he said Sydney, even though I'm thinking your sister's name could fit, but when he showed me Sydney, I kept thinking of Australia, and I was seeing Australia, and I was trying to figure out where he was going with this. Unless it was just the name he was trying to get me. But he was showing me a ring because he made this gesture for ring. And for me, a ring represents an engagement, a marriage, a remarriage, or something connected to him in the ring. So do y'all have his ring?
Yeah, my dad, we're getting ready to go to California in a few days, and my dad was a professional bowler, and we're getting ready to give 2 of his rings from his title to
Perfect. Okay,
the
that
twins.
makes sense to me. So that makes more sense to me. So he's just acknowledging the events with his ring. So there's a reference there. He also keeps thinking. He also, now I know why I was seeing Sydney, Australia, in the harbor. Okay, got it. So he also keeps, thank you. He also keeps acknowledging. Okay, is there a Donovan or a Devin or a David sounding name? It's someone else who's passed who's there with him.
My grandfather is Donald.
Okay, got it. that for me fits. So he's acknowledging the D name with him. So he's acknowledging the grandfather being with him as well. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. Now he is acknowledging your sister. So he's making reference to your sister. Did it take your sister a little bit more time to get pregnant the first time around, or for her to get pregnant? Because he's acknowledging the attempt or the effort being made for her.
Yes.
Got it. So he's aware of this. He also says that he heard her prayer. So I don't know if she asked him for help to get pregnant, but he says he got it. And he says he tried to get, this is what she got too. So he's acknowledging that and making reference to that. He also keeps talking about how, thank you. Do you know one of the twins, if the hair on the side of their head isn't really completely coming out, or there's like a little bit of an area that's a little balder?
No, but one of them had to wear a helmet for a little bit because of the way the head was shaped.
Perfect. Got it. Because what he was showing me, I have a friend who her son was doing the same thing, and he's got a helmet, which is interesting. So he's acknowledging the thing with one of the twins and their head, or the issue there. So he's making reference to that, aware of that. Thank you. He also keeps acknowledging, he's just said Happy Mother's Day. Wish her a Happy Mother's Day. So he's wanting to wish her that as well. He's wishing you a Happy Mother's Day. Do you not have children though?
I do. I have two that he was very close to.
Okay. He said Happy Mother's Day to you, but there's something else he was telling me, because I was like, why am I seeing, like, you're not just like an animal, like I keep seeing animals, and I think of animals as like kids as well. Do you know of a dog that didn't make it or passed?
We just let.
Got it. Now
We just put the dog down.
Perfect. He's aware of the dog that just passed. So he's saying Happy Mother's Day, and he's letting you know that the dog made it and it's with him. So he's making reference to the dog being with him in spirit as well. He also drops coins or leaves coins in the most random of places. So he says to look out for the coins as well. He also keeps acknowledging his name, and also a glass or a crystal notification, or like, I mean, it could be an award. Do you know there's like a glass or like a crystal shaped award or accommodation? It may not be for the sports thing. This might be for like work or something related to that.
Yeah, my daughter has something in her room that she gave to him, and it was a glass piece, and it says #1 grandfather, and she kept it.
Oh, got it. That makes sense why he would call it his job. Okay, got it. So he's just acknowledging that, or making reference to that as well. Did y'all make him ornaments? Because he's acknowledging the ornaments.
Yes, we have ornaments on our tree, and it's on.
Yeah, so he's acknowledging that. Also, were y'all wanting to put 2 toppers on the top of the tree, or was there a replacement that happened because one of them was no longer usable? For example, sometimes people put like angels.
We talked about putting an angel on our new tree, and we ended up not doing it, but we did consider it in his honor.
Because he was showing me an angel, so I was trying to figure out where he was going with this. He was present for the conversation about the topper and the angel. So he's acknowledging that he knew about that conversation, and he knew what y'all were discussing. He is also showing, thank you, he just showed me the number 3, so the month of March, which we're in, is significant, or the 3rd of a month is connected, because he's referencing that. So do you know there's an anniversary date or a date of significance on either March or the 3rd of a month? It could be the 13th, but I want to still stick to the 3rd.
Well, I don't. I'd have to think about that.
Okay, so it's either the 3rd, which would be March, the 3rd of a month, or I'm wrong and it's the 13th, but I kind of want to line it up that way. So, but I would still start with the 3rd for, because that's the first thing that pops into my head. He came to you in a dream, and he tried to tell you that everything was going to be okay, or that everything was fine. He says that was him, and he wants you to know that he's with you, and he's going to continue to be with you. He's also making fun of somebody, and then he's saying Little Red Riding Hood, or do you know the little character where she wears like a red hoodie thing, and it's the big bad wolf? And she goes to see her grandma, and her grandma's actually been gobbled up by the wolf. Do you remember that story?
So my dad is from Poland, and he used to sing this song to my daughter in Polish, and it was about a little girl going to her grandmother's, and she used to wear something over her head in the song.
So he's acknowledging this. He's wanting to let her know that he hasn't left her. He also says that he wants her to sing it to her cousins and to everybody, because he wants her to carry on the tradition. So he's just acknowledging that. He's with you guys. He's with you.
Thank you. I see my sister in a few days, and I'm going to make sure I tell her everything. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You guys take care of yourself, and I wish you all the very best.
God bless you.
You too. God bless you as well. All right, let's go somewhere else here. Let's go here.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
Good, and you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. What do you want to ask me about?
Okay, so I want to see if there's any messages for my grandparents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have 3 grandparents that are passed?
Um, right now my close ones is my grandma, my grandpa, and then on my dad's side I have my other grandparents that are passed too.
Okay. I'm seeing 3 of them. I'm not sure why I'm only seeing 3 of them, but I'm seeing 3 grandparents. So I want to say that both the males and then the female on your mom's side is coming through. The other female, the other grandmother, I don't know why I'm not seeing her as clearly, or she's just not making me. I don't feel her as strongly. That doesn't mean that she's not there. That just means that I'm not picking up on her as strongly. The grandmother on your mom's side. Let's start there. She's repeating her name. Are there 3 people who have the same name or carry the same form of the name?
Last name.
Mm-mm. There's a repeating name 3 times. So she's acknowledging a name and she's saying it 3 times. So there's like a repeating name. For example, my grandmother was named Irene. I named my sister Irene after my grandmother. And then if someone else names, and I have another cousin named Irene, which is also the 3rd. So there's 3 there's 3 names of that. There's something about that the grandmother is making reference to about her name, and then she's saying it 3 times. So either there are 3 people who have that name, or she's one of 3 in the family that are connected to that name. But you might have to ask your family because that may be historical. That may not be someone, okay? She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. Do y'all have a small dog that's also passed? Because she's acknowledging a small dog being there with them. So she's acknowledging that. Did you write or create a piece of art for her?
Was it recent or?
I don't know if it was recent, but it feels like, I'm thinking of watercolors. So I feel like there's art that I want to associate with her. But it feels like it was done in honor of or like as a gift.
My little brother.
Okay, she's acknowledging this, so she's referencing the art that was created in honor. Is there? Do you know there's a Dolores?
I'm sorry,
Or
say that again?
Yeah, do you know there's a Dolores or a D female name connection?
On my dad's side, yeah.
Is it connected to the grandmother that's on that side?
Yeah.
Okay. I might be what's happening here? Okay, I think I know what's going on. So I think your grandmother on your mom's side is the one that's initiating everything. So she's taking charge of everybody and telling everybody what to do.
Hold on. The internet.
Yeah.
Hold on. The internet.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Okay.
So I think, so I think your grandmother on your mom's side is the one that's telling everybody what to do. And I think she's coordinating everybody. So she might have completely taken control. She might be trying to help the other grandmother out by trying to give me details about her to let us know that we have her on the line as well. So I think that's what's going on there. So then some of the grandma stuff might be overlapping there because I'm thinking that's what's going on here. Let's see, I'm gonna wait for you. Wait and see.
I'm sorry.
There you are. No, you're fine. You're fine. If it freezes, I'm still here. I'm still here. Unless it's frozen for like 5 minutes and I'm gone. But okay, got it. Do y'all have 2 rings connected to one of the grandmothers, to your mom's grandmother?
Yes, I have her ring on right now.
Okay, but she says 2. Do you know there's another one?
Whenever she passed away, she has my ring that I gave to her.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so y'all kind of swapped rings or exchanged rings?
Whenever she passed.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me. Okay, so she's acknowledging that. She also, thank you, she just showed me the month of April. Do you know if there's a significance to the month of April or the 4th of the month?
She passed in April.
Perfect. She's verifying and confirming that as well. She also keeps acknowledging, do y'all have a platter of hers that has got floral prints on it?
Yes.
Got it. She knows about that. She also keeps acknowledging about the garage door. Did y'all have some craziness happen with the garage door?
No, we don't have a garage.
Okay. The house that you have, is there like a storage area attached to the side of the house? Okay. Yes. Did y'all have something weird happen with the door? Was the door just like open on its own? And it's like, why is the door open?
Oh, we had, okay, so the garage, they made it into a living room. So
that's why you don't have a garage.
Yeah.
So it was a garage at some point.
Yeah. So
okay.
the wall was open and my mom closed it, like made a wall.
Perfect. So, Well, oh, I don't know if that's it or not. It could be. I mean, she might just be trying to talk about clothes. No, that's not. No, there's something about the door in there being left open, or someone had an experience with the door in that space, because I think that's where she was going with it. So there's something about the door in that space that was the garage that she's trying to acknowledge or she's trying to make reference to.
Mm-hmm.
In that room, is there a bird across the wall?
Ooh.
Is there a bird on the wall in that room?
No.
She's showing me like something that looks like birds or like doves. So do you have any birds or doves?
Okay. See, we have angels and like little flowers, but birds, no.
Okay. The angels, like wings, did they have the
Yeah.
wings on? Okay, that
Yeah.
may be what she's showing me. Because she's showing me something with wings or like looks
Uh-huh.
like birds in that room on the wall. Okay, she's talking about that room. So y'all pay attention because y'all may experience things in that room. She's
We
making herself.
do.
That's it. Yeah. She says she's always in there and that y'all may experience other things. So keep your eyes open because that's where she likes to go and visit with
It's
y'all
the
when y'all are in there.
kitchen.
Yeah. She also keeps thank you. She also keeps acknowledging Nini or Nene or not Nini or Nini or Nina. Is there a Nina or a Nini sounding name connection? It's a nickname. Someone's still alive.
Not with the N, but we say Lala.
No. This is like a Nini or a Nina sounding name. Still alive. This is someone that is connected to you. Her mother or her grandmother just passed away. This person that they're connecting to it. So there's a
Okay.
female that you are connected to who's got a Nini or Nina connection. There's a
Okay.
female in spirit also who passed away. Might have just recently passed, like in the last 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
So do y'all know a female who lost a mother or grandmother in the last 2 or 3 months?
Mm-mm.
Ask your mom, because I feel like there's another female that's wanting to say, like she's like really wanting to make sure she's like not missed out. So she's wanting
Okay.
to, and there's a Nini or a Nina name connection to her.
Okay.
So just, I'll leave that with you. Also, is someone trying to be a nurse or it was one of the people a nurse?
Probably like my mom's like other cousins or something like that.
No. Either the person that's talking to me is a nurse or one of y'all is going into medical school or is working at a doctor's office. But they're showing me this nurse vibe. So it's either someone that's doing it or someone that's talking to me that's the nurse.
Hmm.
Y'all are going to have to think about it. You're going to have to ask
I
them because, yeah,
know.
it's okay. That's okay. This happens all the time. I'm used to it. People are always like, no, no. And I'm like, no, like, I know what I'm seeing. And like, people are like, oh, no, 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 it's this. I'm like, no, I don't think it's that. It's this. And that's okay. I'll leave that with you. Your grandfather, interestingly enough, did he have cancer?
See, he died from an unknown cause, and we didn't do an autopsy.
I feel like he had cancer, and I feel like it was in the intestines or in the pancreas, because I feel like it was something in his digestive system. Did he
Yeah.
start getting a lot skinnier, or did he start kind
Yes.
of? Yeah, he had cancer. I feel like he had a digestive cancer type of event, and he just didn't. He probably didn't go to the doctor and ever get it checked, and he probably just didn't follow up. So I'm
No,
thinking that that was something like that. It may have become sepsis after a while because I feel like his blood might have become poisoned from it. But I think it started off with cancer because I feel like that's connected to the grandfather. He also, thank you. Is there a Lewis or a Lou name connection there?
Not that I can think of,
Mm-hmm.
because his family it was just me, my mom, my brother, and my grandma and him.
That's okay. When you ask your mom, you might need to ask her that. Thank you. Is the family from Mexico?
His side, yeah, but he wouldn't
Okay.
tell us.
I'm seeing San Luis Potosí, so I definitely think there's a Lewis or a Lou connection there.
Okay, probably his
So
brother.
he might be trying to acknowledge his family and who he's with and what he's connected to. So if you don't know enough about it, when you ask your mom, she may know some of these details, but there's a reference there as well. Your other grandmother also, did she have issues with the side of her body, or was she having issues where she might have even had a stroke or something was affecting her arm?
From my mom's side?
The other side.
Well, she did take a lot of medication.
Do you know she had a stroke?
Not her, but my grandpa did. Her husband.
That's not the Lewis
Mm-mm.
person, right? This is not, no. This has got to be this is one of the grandmothers with the stroke thing or with being affected. Because what I'm seeing is I'm seeing my mouth get this way.
Because my grandpa, he did have a stroke.
I'm getting it from a female.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting it from a female. So it's got to be connected. That doesn't mean that they passed from a stroke, that they just may have suffered a stroke and they were affected or afflicted by one. So I would leave that with you because I feel like it's a female connection. I know you're saying grandpa, but I'm like, no, I feel like there's something else here. So I'm missing it. It's got to be one of the grandmothers that they're wanting to acknowledge this stroke or this event type thing as well. So there's a reference to that. Do you have a rosary?
Yes.
Okay. Does your mom have the Jesus picture from your grandma? Okay. Did y'all get a cross from the church?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did your mom plant azaleas or gardenias for grandma?
Mm-mm.
Or is there azaleas or gardenias smell connected to grandma?
Uh-uh.
Here's what I'm going to say. Either your grandmother had azaleas or gardenias, or there's, because I'm seeing white flowers, but it's like gardenias or azaleas.
Okay.
Either there's a reference to that smell, so when she comes around, y'all may smell that, or there's something that she planted or she had and your mom may know more about it.
Okay.
So I'll leave that with you. But if you ask your mom, I feel like she's going to know exactly what I'm talking about. She'll be like, ni hao, like, wait. She's going to go on you. Yeah, but they're with you. They're with you guys. Go back over the recording, write it down, and check with your mom.
I know. I will do that right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, sweetheart. You take care of yourself.
Bye.
Bye, Mama. Let's go elsewhere here. Interesting. I don't see any males in here. People always ask me, like, ask a man, ask a man. I'm like, I try looking for males, but they never request. And there's way more females than men. There's usually like 95% female people who pay attention or are following me. So that's why. So let's go here. Let's see. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, sweetie. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. What do you want to ask me about?
So about a year ago, my best friend's sister passed away in an accident in Mexico. Does she have any messages for her?
Yeah. First of all, do you know this was like an intentional accident, or this was like someone intending to cause the accident?
That's what they don't know because it was in deep in Mexico, and they don't know what happened.
Got it. Do they even suspect that there was even an accident to begin with? Because I'm not really seeing so much what you're saying. I'm almost seeing like a completely different situation. So do you know if they even know if it was an actual accident?
Well, they told them that it was like a car accident, and she flew away, and that's how she passed away.
Did they ever see the vehicle wrecked? Did they ever see any of those things?
They sent them pictures of the vehicle.
Here's what I'm going to say. I feel intentionality with the accident. So either somebody may have intentionally caused the accident, or somebody was not. Was there another person with her in the vehicle?
They don't know.
Okay. Here's what I think. I feel like whoever was with her might have either intentionally caused the accident, or they were being intentionally aggressive in the way that they were driving, because it feels like there's an intentionality behind the accident, almost like there's an intention behind it. It doesn't just feel like I'm just driving and then this happens. It almost feels like someone is driving and either they're intending to drive erratically, or they're trying to intentionally speed, and it just causes this, because I feel like that's a part of this. I also thank you, Anna. Is there an Anna connection to that family? Anna or Ama, Alma or Anna or Ama, sounding name connection to that family?
Not that I know of.
Okay. The mother of your friend, the mother of the friend. Do you know if in her family there's an Alma or an Anna or an Ama? It could be Amy, but I don't think it's Amy. But it's like an sounding name. Okay, I'll leave that with you. The sister
Okay.
is the sister's fine. She's okay. She's with this A female, so there's an A female connected to that side of the family. So she's acknowledging who she's
Okay.
with. She also keeps acknowledging thank you. Do you know if there was more damage to the side of her body or her shoulder?
I wouldn't
That's
know.
okay. I'll leave that with y'all because you might need to check that with the sister. They also keep acknowledging thank you. They also keep acknowledging that the people who were giving the family information, there was two people who might have got themselves confused or mixed up, and that might have caused even more confusion because she's making me feel that they may have heard from one person initially, but then they may have had to talk to somebody else, and then it just got a little bit confusing because I don't think there was proper communication on their side or in Mexico. So I feel like that's part of the problem. Also, I keep seeing a darker black vehicle. It's gonna sound weird. There's there actually a picture of the sister in a black vehicle or darker colored vehicle?
I wouldn't know. I would have to
Okay.
ask her.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Because I'm seeing two things. I'm seeing the sister and I'm seeing like a silvery gray vehicle, but I don't feel like that's the vehicle that I'm seeing in the picture. There might have been
Well,
a
the vehicle that she had an accident, it was like kind of grayish.
got it. So that's the vehicle that she had an accident in. But the picture she's showing me is of her in a darker or black colored vehicle. So there might be a picture of her also in a blacker colored vehicle. She's just acknowledging something to use as a validation. So she's just acknowledging that. It might even be a cute picture of her doing a selfie in the vehicle and then it's posted somewhere. But she's acknowledging this. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. She also is doing this. Do you know if there's a cross necklace or a religious necklace that's connected?
I don't know.
Okay.
I would have to ask my
That's
friend.
okay. There's like a necklace that's a religious or a cross necklace. So it's either cross or it's a Virgin Mary, but it's a religious necklace. But there's a connection to this as well. So either your friend's family got this after her passing, or this belonged to the sister. But she's acknowledging that as well. She also, thank you. She's showing me a symbol for a baby. Whenever I see that baby, it usually means that there's a baby with her that was miscarried, lost, or terminated, or there's a baby that's been born since her passing. Do you know if there's been a baby born since her passing?
Her other sister had a baby
Perfect.
after.
She's acknowledging the baby that was born after her passing. So she's making reference to that as well. She also says that she came in a dream, and in the dream, they may have actually all been in like a party or a get together. And the way that the person dreamt it, she says that that was her coming through and just trying to say that she was okay and she was fine. So she's okay. She's fine, sweetheart. But you may need to follow up with the family because there's these other details that she's trying to validate or verify.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
So, sweetheart, you take care of yourself.
You too. Thanks.
Bye bye. All right. Let's see. Go over here. It's getting dark in here. I'm like, I'm so used to the sun being out now. So let me turn on the light here. There we go. Hello.
Hi. Is this connecting? I can't see you yet.
I'm still here. I'm still here, Mommy. Yours is frozen, but I can hear you just fine.
Oh no. Oh, there you
Yeah,
are.
there you are.
Hi.
Yay. Hi, sweetheart. What did you want to ask me about?
Really general, just if you have any messages that are coming through.
From anyone specific
Maybe
or
my grandmother.
your grandma? Is this
Yeah.
your mom's mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, she's pointing to her head. Do you know if there was anything affecting her mental or her mental state or her ability to concentrate?
Not about the concentration, no. I
Okay,
don't
here's
know.
what
But
she's showing
yeah.
me. Because I almost feel like I'm out of it and I feel like I'm having trouble staying conscious and I'm like someone's talking to me and I'm trying to hear what they're saying. That's how she's making me feel. Do you
Okay.
know if she was going in and out towards the end or she wasn't conscious and she was like under?
I think at the very end she was under. Yeah, but I would have to ask my mom.
Was that
She's
for
in.
like a couple of days?
It could have been.
Okay,
I don't
I'll
think
leave
it
that
was.
with you.
Yeah.
She also keeps acknowledging a Rose or an R female name. Do you know if there's an R female name connection?
My sister.
Okay. She's doing this. Do you know if your sister is either engaged or has gotten married?
No, we're hoping that she does become engaged.
So here's what I'm going to say. I think your grandma's trying to like, hey, heads up, it's coming. So be
Yeah.
patient.
Yeah.
So she might be
Yeah.
telling her.
Woohoo. All
She
right.
also keeps thank you. She also keeps acknowledging. Do you know she was into fondue or y'all ever did fondue? Okay.
No.
You know what I'm talking about, like a fondue pot, and you
Yeah.
dip it and then you eat?
Yep.
Okay. There's something about this that she's trying to acknowledge or making reference to. Now, if you don't remember a fondue pot, I don't think you. Okay. Hold on.
Huh.
Here's what I'm seeing, because I'm going back into the 70s and I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. So, do you know if your grandma, when she was younger, if she used to throw a lot of get-togethers or parties for the area or for friends or for the neighbors?
I don't think that she did, but I will definitely ask my
Okay.
mom.
When you think of, you know, those people in the neighborhood, like everybody always goes to their house.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing a
Okay.
fondue pot. So there's something
Maybe a
about
lot of
just
family parties, not necessarily like neighborhood
yeah,
parties,
yeah.
but
It
like
doesn't have to be
eh,
neighbors, but if there was a lot
yeah.
of parties, but if she was the
Yeah.
party giver, ask about a fondue pot or like this thing to dip food in or to dip something in that's either chocolate or cheese or something like that.
Okay, I'll
Now,
ask. Yeah.
but I want to go back to like the 70s. Like I want to go way back before you
Okay.
were probably born, right?
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
back there. I also feel, thank you. She's doing this. Do y'all have a bracelet or a wristwatch that's connected to grandma?
I think I do have a bracelet. I've
Okay.
got several things, but yeah, I have a
So she's
bracelet,
acknowledging
yes.
that. Do you
Yeah.
also have earrings that are connected to her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because she's acknowledging that as well.
Mm-hmm.
She also, thank you. The last time she saw you, was your hair a lot shorter?
Yeah.
Because she's acknowledging your long, pretty hair. Look how pretty your hair is. So she's like, reference to your hair being longer now. So she's acknowledging that as well. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. Is there also a picture of her? Either this, she's holding an umbrella, or she's got a big old hat that's like an umbrella on. It would have been
Uh,
outside or in the sun, because it's not like rain umbrella. It's like sun umbrella.
I don't know of it, but I'm sure that I think we have
Okay.
so many
It's
photos.
it's like white and it's got these little squiggly lines around it. So it's like a white color thing and it's got these little bluish colored like ocean lines or little ocean wave lines. But there's like a picture of this and it's either a hat that has this or an umbrella that has this, because she's showing me this image of her. I feel like it's an umbrella. So I want to say it's an umbrella, but it feels like it's like a outside sun umbrella.
Right.
What I would refer to it as.
I don't know.
That's okay.
Yeah.
She is acknowledging you. She is also acknowledging the month of May. Do you know if May or the 5th of a month is connected?
Birthday.
Perfect. She's confirming that or verifying that as well. Is there a Scott connection? Scott or Scotland? Because it could be Scotland as well.
Not on her. No.
Remember, it's that Scott, Scotty, or Scotland connection. So either there's a person named Scott that's with her, or there's a Scotland connection to the family that she's bringing up. But there's a reference to this because she's acknowledging
Okay.
that. She also, thank you. Does she have really bad arthritis?
Yeah.
Okay, because she's doing this to her hands, almost like she's trying to
Yeah.
like bend them. She's fine; they don't hurt anymore. So she might have really struggled with that. She didn't want to be a burden to people, and the fact that she had to deal with stuff as long as she did, she's just like she was kind of done. So she's making me feel this way. Do y'all know she got bad news right before she passed, or there was like a diagnosis that made it seem like this was just going to be a really, really rough experience for her?
I don't know.
Okay. The way I want to describe this is it's almost like I'm already dealing with one issue or one thing, and then all of a sudden I hear a diagnosis or I get word of something else, and it's like, I don't really want to have to go through all of that. And that's the way she makes me feel. So there's something there that either she didn't share with you or that the other family members may know about because she's acknowledging hearing something bad or a diagnosis. So there's something about this. Do you also know if her kidneys gave out or her kidneys were giving her problems?
I don't know.
That's okay. I'm going to leave that with you.
But I will ask. Yeah.
Yeah, ask your mom because she's just
I will.
acknowledging.
I will.
There's a female there as well who you either grew up with or who passed, and she's younger. So there's a female there who's wanting to say hello. She's also, I don't know, I feel like I want to throw a stick up in the air, a baton or something. Do you know if there was like a thing with like I feel like I'm seeing a baton, but I feel like it's a stick. Is there something about that?
No.
I feel like I want to put shows on for people, and I feel like I want to perform in front of people. And this is the way she's making me feel. So either she liked to perform, or there's something about what she would do with like lighting something and throwing it up in the air. But it's like there's a trick or something to it because I want to catch this in time.
Oh my God. I am so sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember, let me say, do you remember somebody having a stick firecracker, lighting it, and then throwing it up in the air before it went off?
No.
This female is acknowledging this situation where there's like a memory or there's a thing that happened where I'm lighting something that's going to go off or set off, and then I'm throwing it up in the air. And she's acknowledging this.
Does she give, or do you feel like you have a name? Because I'm trying to, if I think that's who it is.
She's not giving.
It's no, it's okay. It's okay.
No. I'm asking her because I want to see if she can give it to me.
I'm just trying to think if that's the person I think it would be in high school, but I cannot.
She's giving me an SAS. So she's giving me two names. I'm seeing Sandy name, and then I have a friend that I used to work with named Sasha. So she's giving me those versions of the name. So I want to say that the name is connected to her as SA or SAS sounding name.
No.
I feel like she also passed. Thank you. She had a heart defect. This was like a heart type of event or heart defect where she passed. But she passed young. She passed I almost feel like she just fainted or she dropped, and that was it. She was out, and that's the way she makes me feel. But all these pieces that I'm talking about are connected to her because she's throwing all of it in there. So there's all going to be tied to her.
Okay. Okay. I'll have to think about that. Oh my God, I'm so at a loss.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm used to it. She's also showing me the month of January. So January, the first of a month, is going to be significant. So all those pieces are going to go together. So when you go back, you're going to have to write this down. When you go back over the recording, write it all down, and then it all connects. So that's all connected to one, and then the stuff with your grandmother is connected on a separate end as well. But with her, this may not be the person you're thinking. This might be somebody else, but it does feel like she was pretty young. So I want to say that this is someone that would have only gone up to like the age of 23 or 25. Like I feel like they were not really that long. It doesn't feel like a teenager or a child. This feels like a little bit older than like in their early 20s.
Okay.
So you might have to think about it. I would still ask your mom, because if this is like your mom's childhood friend and she didn't tell you about it, that may be where I'm seeing all of this.
She did have a younger cousin who she was like this with, who did pass at a heart defect. Oh my God, that just gave me heart defect.
Ask her because she had a heart defect or heart
yes, my mom's she was her younger cousin, and they were like
perfect.
Bonos,
Got it.
You know?
Do you know if they ever did like batons, or she ever did like this baton thing, or she ever threw stuff in the air?
I don't know, but I'm totally gonna ask my mom.
Ask her about the firecracker. Like I feel, those stick firecrackers.
Yes,
It's like dynamite stick. It looks like that, but it's almost like I don't know if it's a sparkler or if it's like a stick, but it's almost like I'm lighting it and I'm throwing it up trying to catch it. From memory, she's acknowledging about what they did and like the fun things that they used to do. So ask your mom about the cousins.
I will. Okay.
All right, sweetheart.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. I'm going to do a few more text versions, and I'm going to pop off and then pop back on. It's so funny. It's always funny because people are like, like he's not getting anything done. Like, no, like y'all don't understand the process. Like there's a lot. Like people are. I'm used to people. Last week I had a client, and she was like, no. Like I literally heard no for like the entire.
Oh my God, hi.
Hey, sweetheart. But I was saying I literally heard for like no for like the entire session. I'm like, that's okay. When you go back over the recording, a lot of this is going to make more sense. Sure enough, I got an email. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. I felt so stupid. I'm like, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm like used to it. People figure things out when they go back and listen to it. Hi, Mama. What did you want to ask me about?
If I have any messages from my grandparents and for my uncle that he passed away last month. If I have any message for him?
Yeah. The grandfather that passed last month, is that your dad's dad?
Last month, no.
Okay. Let's start with your dad's dad, because I want to go with your dad's dad. So your grandpa on that side. He is acknowledging a repeating name. Is he a junior, or is your dad a junior?
No. My dad's dad is still alive.
Okay. No. On your dad's side of the family, who's junior?
Not anyone that I know of.
Okay, so let me tell you what I'm seeing, because this might help you to get there. There's a male coming through. I want to put him on the level of grandfather, so he's either a grandfather or the brother of a grandfather. He's acknowledging a junior, which means he either shares his name with somebody else, or there's two people who have the same name. He also makes me feel like he had cancer, but that may not have been what he passed away from. He may have actually passed from something like an aneurysm or a stroke. So this is the kind of situation there. He also makes me feel like there was a disconnect with the family. So he either was in a different area or lived in a different state or a different country. But there's like a disconnect there. So he might have been in a different area. He also keeps talking about that one of his legs was giving him trouble, or he might have had trouble walking as well. So there's a reference to that as well. He also keeps acknowledging, it's interesting because I'm seeing horses. He might have been living around horses, or he may have been involved with horses in some way because I'm seeing horses. Do you know anyone on your dad's side of the family that has those ties?
Um, I know his dad is like he loves animals and he has his own like animals with him. He likes being around them.
That's not it. If his dad is still alive, this is not his father. This is someone connected to that side of the family. So they're connected on that side, and all these pieces fit with some guy on that side of the family. Is there a short J name like Jesus or Jose on that side? Could be Jesse.
No.
It's a Josjes. Josjes. It's a Josjes connection. So you're gonna have to ask your dad because he may know who I'm talking about. But there's an older male. It's like older. So he's on that side of the family. That's one person. Your grandparents on your mom's side of the family. Let me see. Did your grandmother have diabetes?
I didn't know anything about her. She died when my mom was small.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. Your grandmother on your mom's side, she's wanting to acknowledge that there was something affecting, because she's showing me the blood sugar, and I feel like my blood sugar is dropping. So she might have either fainted before this happened, or she may have actually collapsed, but she's acknowledging something about losing consciousness and my blood sugar, so she's acknowledging that, which is why I'm asking about diabetes. She also keeps acknowledging that her lungs became contaminated or were affected as well, which might have also contributed to her passing as well. She also makes me feel like ultimately it was tied to an infection, but all these pieces are connected to the grandmother on that side. So she's acknowledging that. Do you know anything about that?
No.
Okay, that's okay. I'll leave that with you. She also keeps acknowledging the two girls. Is your mom one of two girls or two sisters?
Yeah.
Okay. She also keeps acknowledging about a additional mother figure. Did your grandfather remarry after the grandmother?
He didn't remarry, but he was with somebody else.
Okay. The female that he got with after that, this is not weird. Do you know if she actually knew your original grandmother, or she was somehow connected or related to your original grandmother?
Yeah. Okay. There was a connection with them that my grandma didn't know about.
Okay, so there's a reference there. She also keeps thank you. She also keeps well, she knows now. She also keeps acknowledging. Thank you. She showed me the number 11. So do you know if the 11th of a month of November is connected?
My mom's birthday is on the 10th.
Okay, so thank you. She said there's another date. So when you ask your mom, there's another date in November as well. So even though you brought up your mom's birthday, I feel like there's another date she's referring to that might be a lot closer to the end of the month. But she's acknowledging that as well. So when you ask your mom, she may know that other date as well, because she says there's two dates. She also keeps acknowledging that there's a baby with her in spirit. Did your mother lose a child, or was there a baby that was miscarried, lost, or terminated?
No, not that I know of.
Either your grandmother had a miscarriage or your mother might have lost a child, but there's a reference to a baby with her in spirit connected to either your mom or her. So there's a reference there. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. There's a small white colored dog or a light colored dog that's also with her. So did y'all have a small white colored dog? Like a Pomeranian?
We didn't, but I think I know that my mom did have a smaller dog.
Okay. So she's acknowledging this dog. So if you ask her, and it almost reminds me of like a Pomeroy or a Pomeroy. I think it's like a Pomeroy. So it reminds me of that. So there's a reference there. She also keeps, thank you. She also keeps acknowledging, was your grandmother really pretty?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, girl, you're beautiful. So she's like showing herself in this way. Is there actually a picture of her when she was younger and her hair is kind of like pushed back right here, and then there's these curls right here?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. She also keeps acknowledging the Bible. Does your mom have your grandmother's Bible?
I don't
or prayer book. It would have been next to like the first communion. You know, like whenever someone gets their first communion, they get like a book or whatever. Yeah. It feels like it's first communion connected to the grandmother that she's acknowledging for your mom.
I don't think she has much things about her besides like some pictures.
It's not her book. It's a book that your grandmother would have given her when she was at a certain age. So there might be a book.
I'm not sure about that.
When you ask your mom, there's a book that she might have given her, like a prayer book or like a Bible that would have been like a gift, and it would have been like a confirmation or like a first communion gift, because she's acknowledging that. So there's a reference there. Your grandfather says he was ready to go. He says he just didn't want to be dealing with this anymore, so he was kind of ready to go. He also makes me feel thank you. He's putting his hand over his mouth, which means that he couldn't speak. Did he not have the ability to move his mouth, or could he not move his mouth towards the end because he's making my mouth freeze up?
He had trouble. Well, from what I know of, that his problems of health were based on because he would smoke a lot.
Okay. He is doing this with my mouth. Either something was affecting his ability to speak, or he could not speak at the end because he's acknowledging not being able to talk or communicate. And he may have been like that for a bit. So it wouldn't have been just like the day he passed. It's like it was going on for a bit because he's acknowledging that. He also keeps, thank you. He also keeps acknowledging. Whenever you would visit him, would you just sit and watch TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
he's acknowledging like being aware of people come to visit to him, and he remembers you, and he remembers like watching TV. So he's acknowledging that.
me being with him, I don't think I ever visited him, but
Okay.
I only spoke to him through the phone.
Okay. Nope, that's not it. I'm seeing Frozen. I'm seeing Frozen on the television set, and I don't know why I'm seeing Frozen, the movie, on the television. And he's bringing it up with you. So I don't know why he's showing me that for you. So either you... Is there an Elisa or Alice or Elisa name connection?
No.
Did you... Let me back it up for a second. Did your grandpa live with 4 people?
Yeah.
Okay. And the 4 people that lived there, do you know if... Thank you.
My aunt's name was Estela. It was his daughter.
That's not it. It's Elise. It's like Elise. I want to say Lisa, but it's not Lisa. It's Alisa or Alicia. That it's a name like that. So it's either Alicia or Elisa. But it sounds like this. Now, the closest name to it that would be a different name would be like Melissa, but I don't think that's it. I feel like it's an Alicia or Alyssa sounding name. So there's a reference to that. He's talking about the 4 people that live there. He's talking about this female being there, sitting with him for like hours at a time, and they would just watch TV. So he's acknowledging that. Do you know if the people that lived with him, and they had 2 children?
It's only my aunt Estela that she had 2 children.
She had 2 children? Okay. So she had 2 children. Okay, got it. Do you know? And she took care of him?
I can't remember.
That's okay. I'm going to leave that with you. You need to ask your mom these details because there's details there that she may know more about. Your mom's not there with you, is she?
No, not right now.
Okay, that's okay. I'll leave that with you. You need to check it out. He is acknowledging. He remembers someone coming into the room. They would sit with him. He would have the TV would be on, even though he may not have been 100% there. But they would sit, and he's showing me Frozen on the television set. So they would watch Frozen with him. So he's showing me a scene like this. So there's something there that he's trying to make reference to, or he's trying to acknowledge. Okay. So you're gonna have to ask your mom, because if you didn't spend as much time with them, then there's not a lot you can confirm without her being aware of it. But ask her, and if she asks a sister, she'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay. All right, sweetheart. You take care of yourself.
I have just one more question. My cousin, he's in jail. Is there anything you could see that maybe a timeline of when he may come out?
2. So he's either going to get an opportunity in 2 months or 2 years. Was this supposed to be like a 5 or 6 year sentence or 5 or 6 year thing?
From what I know, he needs 5 more years for him to be able to come out.
Perfect. So because he's there for 5 years, I think he's going to be out in 2 years.
Okay.
So he'll get out early.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. You take care of yourself.
You too. Thank you.
All right. So let me go through some of these text versions really quickly, and then I can get there. You know, I'm gonna do one more video and then that's it. Because I was gonna do some more text versions, but I want to do one more video. Let me see. CL Matthews 28. I'm trying to connect with you, so I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, CL Matthews 28. I tried, girl. I tried. All right, so let's. Yeah, trusted Yesenia. Hey, Ferny, I've been in every live. I want to know if my career in music marketing will be successful or if I should give up and do you see any love interest in my life soon? I don't see any love interest in your life soon. I do see a connection for you that will stick in 3 years. So in about 3 years, I see you sticking with somebody, and I'm pretty sure that that's the person you're going to end up getting married to. With your career in marketing, I actually think that you're going to get into, I think you'll actually stick with marketing, but you're going to have to do it in a different way. It wouldn't surprise me if you'll still do the same thing this year, so you'll keep trying to do it this year. For some reason, next year it's changing, and I actually think the way you're marketing or the system that you use for marketing is going to change. So the method is going to change next year, and I also see newspapers. So you might actually start to get more, I know you're asking about music, but I actually see like news articles and news stories in newspapers, and it's going to be one of those things where you're going to see people advertising through like news articles, and they would be like basically promoting certain things through news articles and through articles, etc. And there's a part of it that also goes in collaborating, where, for example, let's say, let me use this example. Let's say me, I write articles, I write, stuff online. If someone like you saw someone like me and you're like, oh, like they have a lot of followers or they have a lot of people who read this, let me see if I can like advertise in their article. And so it's almost like these smaller influencers who have the ability to actually affect and get more traction to what's trying to be marketed. So I feel like that's kind of a difference of approach that's going to happen there. So I don't feel bad about the path. I just think that the method isn't working for you, but I see that method or that methodology changing next year. Okay. Lynette Lily, hi Ferny, do you have spirit guide? Do I have spirit guides? Everybody has spirit guides, yeah. And what is my guide's name? Your main guide's name is Josephine. It's a female. I feel like her name is Josephine, or yeah, it feels like Josephine because I'm seeing like a female Josephine type name. So I'm thinking it's like a Josephine type name. Okay, I'll do one more on this side, and I'm gonna pop off, and then we'll come to our study group. Butterfly Lolita. Hey, Ferny, when do you see me living with significant other or romantic partner? I actually think at the end of this year. So there might be a change for you with this at the end of this year, because I feel like when I'm thinking of the holidays, I feel like you're already sharing space with somebody. So I would say that by the end of the year. Okay. All right, guys, I love you all. I'm going to be back in a few moments to do our study group. So I will see you next week. Remember, there's a time change, so it's going to be